Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Today is going to be a little bit longer of a video because I thought that today I would share my testimony. So, I have what some might consider to be that quote unquote boring testimony, but in my opinion, there's no such thing as a boring testimony. I was born and raised in a Christian home. Both of my parents were very involved in church, worship team, kids ministry. My dad's a deacon, a whole thing. Went to Christian schools. And when I was 6 years old, I went to my mom because I woke up and I realized something's missing. And I don't know what it is. Like, there was just like this emptiness. But something's missing was the best way that my 6-year-old brain could describe it. And so I talked with mom and we went through a tract in my bedroom. And for those who don't know, a tract is like a little booklet and it goes through the plan of salvation, that we're all sinners, that God sent Jesus to die on the cross for our sins. He rose again, and now we can be with God forever if we accept his gift of salvation. And this one was aimed very much for my age at that time. I remember it had this little boy, and I want to say he wore like a green shirt and he had brown hair, but that's all beside the point. It was like that typical mid 90s art style. And we went through it together, and I remember her asking if I had any questions. I think I may have asked like a couple of clarifying questions, but it was at that moment that I was like, you know what? I'm ready to pray. And so we prayed together and I accepted Jesus into my heart that day. And on May 16th, 1998, I was I was baptized and went through, growing in my walk, going to Sunday school, going to Awana, and going to Christian school and learning about him there. And middle school hit, and there was a lot of friend drama in middle school, and it was rough. But I always, God blessed me through that time with true friends, those who stuck with me. And my church, looking back, has always been that place where I've had those friends. Yeah, I had friends at school, and there are also some who stuck with me through thick and thin, and high school was a lot better friend-wise. There was a lot less friend drama in high school. I think we all kind of matured by that point. um, and then I decided I was ready to go to college and got my teaching degree. And that college was also very formative for me. And going to chapel and just learning more and more about God, diving into the Old and New Testaments, diving into what is a Christian worldview, and all of that as well in my Bible classes. And then I got my job as a teacher, and I tried my best in that position, but it was clearly not where God wanted me to be, and ended up changing careers completely. And that was one of my most formative moments, I would say, was that time where I was between jobs. I was at the same point in the application process for two jobs in the same field. And every day I was praying, Lord, just keep the door open to the one that you want me to take and close the door on the one that you don't want me to take. And I got an email one day, and one job had said, we're sorry, we regret to inform you that you're not progressing on. And the second job said, yeah, you get to continue. And I ended up being hired there. And that is where I work even today. And that was that period of time, those months where I was waiting to hear back, where I was in the application process, deep in the job search. That was very, very formative for me as well and deepened my faith and helped me to really rely on him. And it was just one of those times where I really, really felt like he heard my prayer. And today, I'm blessed. I have amazing coworkers. I've had amazing conversations with them, and it really, really has helped me. And I've grown so much through friends that he has blessed me with. Some of my best friends that I met in college, we encourage each other today and have deepened our faith to where we know we can have those hard conversations and those more theological conversations. And even though, those conversations can be hard, they're worth it. And so I would say if you're feeling like you have that testimony that some might say boring, I've gone through those plateaus. Like I've gone through those plateaus where I have felt like I have been so stagnant in my faith. And then I've had those highs. I've had those highs. I don't know that I've ever felt that God left me or like I left him. I do know that I've had moments where I've felt far from him, but I always knew he was right there. I just needed to grasp. But it's been those moments where he felt far were more just the plateaus, more just those moments where I was like, you know what, I'm going through the motions and I need to deepen my walk. I need to deepen my faith. And taking those steps to really deepen my faith and making sure that I'm in the word every day, those were those were instrumental in deepening my faith to where I am today. So I would love, 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 love to hear your testimony if you feel comfortable sharing. And I hope that this blesses you. See you tomorrow.